All right. Welcome to Eric and Linda Live. I'm Eric.
And I'm Linda. Welcome to our show today. I'm excited with our guest today. I'll let him tell you where he's coming from, what part of the world he's at right now. But anyways, we started this Work Fine Live, Eric and Linda Live show, and we're interviewing guests, and we just didn't have anything to do during COVID, so we thought about doing this show, and we've been doing it ever since COVID, and we're just having fun with it. None of it's scripted. We just kind of run with the wind.
Yeah. And so, it's been an exciting chapter for us. I mean, COVID allowed us to grow into something we didn't even know we had. We're doing shows every week, and it's teaching us how to get along better, how to work close together. And so, but it's something exciting. So there's some positive things that's come out of COVID for us. Even with our business, we've been able to expand and grow through it all. And we started these live shows really to just share people's stories, to get insight, to give you information, you as the viewers out there, information to help you grow your business, work with entrepreneurs. I mean, there's just so many things. This year, we're doing entrepreneurship and we're doing investments. And so every week, we have a different topic, either entrepreneurship or investment, whether it's talking about money, talking about real estate investment, talking about stocks. We're working on some Bitcoin stuff. So we're doing a lot of different things to bring some value to our viewers.
And actually, it brings value to me because in these interviews, I forget that I'm in an interview, and I'm just like absorbing all this information because it's all it's life-changing stuff for me. So
even for me, I learned something every single show that we put into practice for our business and even for our life. And that's the wonderful thing about just interviewing people, in different areas or different verticals to really enhance us, but, also highlighting them and their stories and their success.
Yep. So, and during these shows, we play this game called the Numbers Up game. So I'm going to explain it really quick. It's you pick a number from 1 to 50, and you have to match the number that I pick. You can't go over, must be present to win, and you will be able to win a
$10 gift card. Here's all the instructions. How do you like that?
Good job.
So just in case you come on the show a little bit late, I'm going to drop those instructions in the chat. So make sure you put those numbers in the chat to win that $10 gift card.
Yes.
As we spoke last week, we said, you know what, we're going to start doing something a little different. Maybe the $10 Amazon gift card goes up. Maybe we start giving away some movie tickets. I don't know, dinner tickets. I even talked about giving away a car. I don't know when we're going to get there, but just stay tuned because it might happen one day. And you don't know what day, and somebody might just come along and say, hey, I'm going to donate this card. Raffle that thing off. And so you got to be on to win. So stay tuned for the upcoming shows to possibly win a car.
I want to win a car. Can I win a car?
Oh, yeah.
One day.
So cool. What else you got today?
I don't know. What do you have today?
Well, I have a lot of things. But the one thing that I always say that, on every show, because every week it seems like I run across somebody who says, don't give up. And that's been really like weighing on my mind because there are times where things get challenging and you want to just give up or you want to stop. But, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, just don't give up. There are some cases where you may have to close a business or whatever for whatever reason, but that's not giving up. That could just be shifting and pivoting. And so continue to push forward to make a difference, right? Fight for what you want, whatever it takes. Just keep doing it. Put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. You don't have to just go out and think that you can become this millionaire overnight, but just take one step at a time.
One step at a time. I did see something on Facebook the other day. Was it today? It was somebody posted about marriage, and some people say marriage is just a piece of paper. And then later on it says to fight for that piece of paper. It's not just a piece of paper, but to fight for that marriage, and don't give up. So that made me think, don't give up on your marriage.
Don't give up. There's been times. But you know what? I mean, I don't know. We've been married for a long time.
How long?
And so we are getting ready to go to commercial break. So I think it's about that time. So we're going to bring our guests on right after this. So stay tuned and make sure you put your numbers in for the Numbers Up game. All right. All right, we are back in action. So we're going to be bringing on our guest shortly. This gentleman is a sales consultant, motivational speaker, has some really great ideas. He's worked with more than 250 companies in 16 countries. He's brought them millions of dollars. Man, I'm so excited to bring in Stephen Shears. Where are you, Stephen? There you go. What's up,
I think
brother?
I'm here. What's up? Hey, I'm blessed, man. It's so great to be here with y'all. Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, thanks, man. And hey, he's coming all the way from Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
That's correct. That's where I'm at right now. It is a lovely time. I highly recommend y'all take a visit out here if you can make it.
Yeah, what that weather like?
Yeah, what is the weather like?
It's cold today. It's about 85 and with a bright sunshine. No, it's great. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. No, I'm kidding. It's amazing. I can't complain at all.
Yeah. So Keysan, you're the founder of Keysan, right?
The Keysan Group. Yes, sir.
That's funny, Eric. Say it like
Keysan.
There you go.
Keysan. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about how you got started in business for yourself.
Okay, well, it's a little bit, I'm gonna tell you the quickest version I can, but business started as a youngster, man. Like I'm come from a family of immigrants. My parents came from Jamaica, West Indies. I wouldn't say I grew up poor, but we didn't have a ton, but we made it work. We learned how to stretch. And because of that upbringing, I had to kind of figure out things on my own. If I wanted to buy candy or whatever else, I had to work for it. So I started out, I'd buy those big boxes of 100 ice pops. I'd freeze them, and then I'd just start hustling and selling those. And you pay $3 for a box, and I could make a profit of $15. And $15 as a kid is almost like $1 million, because the amount of candy you can buy when you have $15 is substantial. But that's kind of where it kind of got into my head of, oh, I can do something and make something with my time and my hands. And that lesson continued to be something that became a part of my life. Like one of my uncles, he would pick me up on a Saturday because my parents would work sometimes, and he'd be like, hey, do you want to make 20 bucks? And I was like, yeah. Do you want pizza? Yeah. Do you want ice cream? He's just like, all right, where do I sign? He's like, well, we're going to cut the grass. We're going to go to Home Depot. We're going to rearrange the whole garage and we're going to plant these trees. And I was like, okay, great. And he made off like a bandit for labor, of course.
Yeah,
but
he did. Yeah, he did.
when I go to his house now, I'm sorry, say it again.
That's child labor, but go ahead.
It is and it isn't though, because like I love my uncle. He's one of my favorite uncles of all time. But when I go to his house now, those trees that I planted are now giving the house shade. And like the grass that I would cut is all nicely edged up. And that just reminds me, like, you got to plant seeds, you got to put stuff in the ground, and you got to be patient and let it go. So that's one huge lesson. The secondary thing was he after he paid me, like on a typical Saturday, he'd always say, hey, Steven, you did a great job today. Thank you for all the efforts. Here's your payment. Just remember, you have two hands, and if you can put them to work for others, you're always going to have whatever you need out of life. And I never forget that lesson. So fast forward a little bit, I've had many different jobs, but I've always been able to kind of hustle my way into a different thing or another thing because I know how to talk to people and ask people questions. And most importantly, I want to help people get what they want. So through everything else, I finally understood, like, I want to be someone who has freedom. Like, I want to be able to take time off if I want. I want to be able to take a nap if I want to. I think one thing that this pandemic has shown a lot of companies who weren't prepared to see it is that results equal results. It is not me babysitting you in the office that's going to count for you being a productive member of the company. And I've been on that for years. And I think that's another thing that drew me to owning my own business and teaching sales of all things, because it's about the results. I don't care how you get there. Don't do anything shady. But if you work 3 hours a day and you get all the work done and you hit your number and you're growing, then salute. That's great.
Yeah.
I think it's just more about how you contribute and the fact that you're contributing in a thoughtful and conscientious way. So that's kind of how I got started. And then I've had ups, I've had downs, I've had big errors and huge failures. And I, as you so perfectly put it, Eric, have not quit.
Yeah, yeah. And you said something, I was reading your bio, and you said you make sales fun, right? And when you talk about sales, or when a lot of people think about sales, I know for us, it seems like everything is a sell, right? And then you get this guy comes knocking at the door, and it's like, oh my gosh, here comes this guy, right? Like, man, I don't want to buy this stuff. Like, go away. And so when you say you make sales fun, how does that correlate into someone like that that's coming to your door and you're already like, man, I know he's going to sell me something and I don't want to buy nothing?
Well, so fun for who is the first question, right? So if it's the person, so I'm not a huge door-to-door guy. That's a whole nother level. There's a funny salesman guy who sells like house cleaner. You should check out his videos on, I think his handle is The Funny Salesman on Instagram or wherever. This guy is a monster at selling. He has all the funny quips and he just makes you laugh. But I think what one can do to make sales fun is to first understand what needs to happen in a sale. So it's not like, hey, you need to buy this product, because we're not there yet, right? I think one thing people often forget is we need to figure out if there's even a problem to be solved first before we try to sell anything. Yeah. So one of the ways I help my clients think about sales and make it a little bit more fun is, so if you're cold calling, which we could talk about whether that's an effective way to go or not, but just as an example, all you're selling from the cold call or your first contact is an opportunity for the person to learn more. That's it. You're not selling your product.
Yeah.
Once you get them on that call and you get to describe and learn more about what they're into and what's happening, the whole goal of that is to know if you two should keep talking. You want to save everybody time on either side. And if it turns out that you should keep talking, then you sell them a secondary call to dive deeper, learn more, establish a precedent, and talk more about the problems and what they want to achieve. And if that works well, then you can sell what your solution is. So when I say I make it fun, it is somewhat of a formula. And if you know what a formula is, or you know the recipe, you could start to add a little bit of spice or some hot sauce over here, or cook with a different protein if you want.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to learning the fundamentals. And until you know how to dribble a basketball or know how to make pancakes or make bread, you're not going to really be over there making a rack of lamb. You just have to learn the basics. And once you learn the basics, you can start having a lot of fun.
So
I wanted to ask, so do you think maybe it's like building a relationship or kind of like getting start off with that or,
Yes.
make it, yeah, instead of just
Yes.
going right in and, hey, buy this vacuum. What do we have? Kirby, but just, find out what their problems are and just kind of have small talk or, be friendly and
yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, one thing we all forget now is too, because like we're on Facebook and social media and this, that, and the other thing. Social media is supposed to be social. You're supposed to talk to people. You're supposed to figure things out. And like, just because you're behind a computer now and we're not at an event, I tell my clients, I call it the one push-up moment. This is like my little framework here. But if I met either of you out at a conference that you were having at Workvine, right? And I just roll up on either of you, I was like, hey, Eric, can you do 100 push-ups right now? I don't care what kind of shape you're in or how much you work out. You're probably just gonna be like, what the heck are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
Get away from me, like, stop it. Now,
I would be like, do it, Eric, do it.
no, you might, and maybe that would work, and maybe you start getting down and you do 100 push-ups. That's the rare side of things, right? Now, on the other side, if I met up with you and I was like, hey man, I dig your glasses, bro. Like, where'd you get those? And you tell me, and it's like, hey, by the way, really just silly question. Can you do a push-up? You probably be like, yeah, of course I can do a push-up. And then maybe you even do a push-up. Now, if I got you to do one push-up, if I'm asking for you to do 2 push-ups later, it's not as big of an ask because there's context. The reason I mention this, when people jump in your DM and tell you what service they have and that you should buy it, that's asking you to do 100 push-ups. There's no context. You haven't taken the time to know me, and you haven't even shown that you're talking to me yet.
Yeah.
If I ask you to just do one, now we've started a conversation. And then after I've gotten to know you a little bit, I'll be like, hey, maybe you could do a push-up, and then maybe you'll do one because I've looked at you as a person. So all to your point there, Linda, it's all about seeing that the person is on the other side of the deal. Like, it's not a business selling to a business. It's a person solving another person's problem. And that's the first place you have to meet somebody in order for them to tell you if something is wrong at all.
That's really good.
That is good.
That's good. That's
That
a
is
good
really
way to
good.
look at it. And we're going to dive into that just a little bit more. We're going to talk about the Magnificent Seven right when we come back. How about that? Because I think that
How
ties
about
right
that?
in.
Ties right
All
in,
right.
like a knot.
All right. We are back. All right.
Hey.
So, what are the Magnificent Seven?
Okay, the Magnificent Seven. So just give you a little reference. This was a movie, and I'm not talking about the one with Denzel in it, and it was a fine movie. I'm talking about the one from the 1960s with Yul Brynner. I grew up watching this. My dad loved Westerns, or loves Westerns rather, and I grew up watching this movie. I was like, I love this thing. But anyway, the Magnificent Seven are the 7 reasons that a purchase is made at all. So if you're selling from a business to a business, what we want to cover here too is, remember, we need to humanize the sale, right? We need to make sure that the person who's making the decision on the other side of the table is seen and that their needs are met, first and foremost. And in a business to business context, there are 4 reasons that someone will make a purchase. The first, you're going to help them make more money, pretty obvious. The second, you're going to help them save money. The third, you're going to mitigate their risk. And the fourth is you're going to increase their efficiency. Now, why is this important? These are all measurable. And if you can measure the size of a problem, you can then attach a price for them not taking action to it, which adds a little bit of urgency to the sale and helps you prove out measurably how you are solving their problem. This is huge, and a lot of people forget this. So if you have those 4, you're pretty much able to attach whatever you do to these 4 things. And if you're selling to, let's say, something in the enterprise or a decently sized business, on average, you have around 7 stakeholders who need to be convinced before they make a purchasing decision. Each of those stakeholders would want to buy something for a different reason. A CFO wants to save money. The head of HR wants to mitigate the risk of losing employees. The CEO just wants to make money. Now, again, they care about all of these things, but you need to speak directly to that person's need in order for them to say, yes, you see me, you hear me, you understand me, and you understand what I want for the overall part of the business. That's why you need to have all 4 of those represented in anything you sell if you're selling to a business and you want to have a proper conversation. So those are the first 4. I said there were 7. So in a business to consumer context or directly to a consumer, there are 3 reasons they buy. And those are health, wealth, and relationships. Everybody, no matter what station you are in life, no matter where you are, we all would like to potentially have better health, right? We want to get in more shape, want to eat better, get on a diet, whatever that is. In our mind's eye, we'd like to get there. Yeah. We want to have more money, right? Who doesn't want to have more money? Go on that vacation, go buy that yacht, whatever it looks like. And then also, if we have better health and we have more money, we want to have great relationships to enjoy those things with. Those are the things to tie back and to humanize the sale. Now, here's where it gets fun. You remember the 4 reasons that a business buys anything?
Make money.
Who do you buy things from? Sorry, say again?
I was just repeating it. It's make money, save money, mitigate, and increase.
Yes, it is. So those are the 4 reasons that a business buys, right? But who do you sell to when you're selling?
To your customers.
Oh, to somebody that you need to fix a problem.
To another human being, but yes, to another human being. So because you're selling to another human being, those 3 things, health, wealth, and relationships, are what are going to make them move the needle in their own life.
Wow.
And if you can understand how mitigating risk for the company helps them have more health, better wealth, and better relationships. Like if I mitigate this risk, you can go spend more time with your newborn son at your house, or you can take that vacation, right? So if you use these 7 reasons and you're able to break out how your product can affect and tell stories around how your product has affected these things for your customers, you've built an incredible story that allows your customer to be the hero in whatever's happening. And if you can do that, now you have a person who's an ally for you, who's going to fight to get your solution implemented because you understand not only what works for the business, but understand how it works for the individuals who make all of the things happen.
You know, I'm smiling because I see this so many times. There's times where we go out on vacation and there's this sale, and they find something like, hey, Stephen, those are some cool glasses, dog. Where'd you get them? So you make that connection first, and then your wall comes down, and then you become that friend, and then you go in, away. So yeah, wow.
I know with these 7, the magnificent 7 that you mentioned, that you could almost sell anything. Like
anything.
All into practice. Did you write a book? Have you wrote a book? Because this is
not yet. No, not yet. No.
There's a book coming.
Yeah.
Definitely something coming. Definitely something coming soon enough.
Sales is a monster, man. Sales is like, oh my gosh, people, they either like cringe. When I hear sales, I'm like, ugh. But then I feel like sales is in everything that we do.
But
everything
everywhere.
Do, right?
But yeah, I mean, but when she hears buy, whoa.
That was too real.
But it's good. It's good, man. This is really good. So, we talked about 10 time or 10X thinking. Share a little bit about 10X thinking, because I know a lot of people, they want to go in and they want to go in real big and real hard and heavy. And sometimes you can get a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I don't want to disparage anybody's dream of having 10 times more of anything. I want to be clear on that. I think we all should have bigger dreams than we do, to be quite frank with you. But thinking 10X, like I kind of mentioned to y'all before, like all this hustle porn you see on Instagram, like I work 75 hours a day and I never sleep and I'm just grinding and I'm going to 10X my business every month. Like that sounds really good. It also sounds extremely unhealthy. And then when I myself as an entrepreneur think about wanting to grow my business, like we all do, right? You want to grow Workvine, serve more people, build in the community, and like make a life for yourself and leave a legacy, right? But when you think in like 10X, like you just start to get to a place of anxiety. At least I know I did. I was like, man, 10 times as many calls, 10 times as many customers, 10 times as many whatever. Like, of course I want 10 times as much money, but do I have a system that can handle 10 times? Do I have 10 other people who can help me do this? And the answer is no. Most people don't have stuff like that. So if you're thinking 10X, yeah, it sounds good on paper, but in execution, you're actually thinking 10 steps ahead, but you haven't figured out step one yet. And that's what keeps people stuck. So that's why I don't like that whole, hey, 10X this, because it's like, wait, no, what's step one? Where do we start, right? Yeah. So that got me thinking and like, why am I feeling so anxious? What can I do to grow my business consistently and not feel anxious about it? And that's where I was just like, yo, just do one more. So that's where I say, don't 10X, plus one instead. Because all of us can make one more phone call that day, send one more email, like spend one more hour maybe, or do one more rep at the gym, one more push-up to keep the analogy running. We can do one more because we can wrap our head around it. And if we do one more today and one more tomorrow, we're adding ourselves up to be much, much better positioned to be the person we want, have the business we want without getting overwhelmed. And that is a sustainable and healthy way to move forward in your business, and to not be locked into this idea of what you think you should be doing and not knowing where to start.
Yeah, that's good. That's good information.
Yeah, that is good. You know, you're my plus one. Do you know that? You're my
We're two.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Wow, that's really good, man. We get before we go to commercial break, I just want to remind everybody that we do have that numbers up game. So start putting your numbers in the chat. I see a couple numbers in there already. So keep those numbers coming. When is the drawing?
It's right after our third segment. Yeah.
When is that? What time?
Oh my gosh, Eric. It's at 6:40.
All right, 6:40, B2. Be ready right there. What time is it? You got 13 minutes to put your numbers in. Win your $10 gift card.
You have the same paper here. You could have looked yourself.
I know. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, plus one. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
All the way up, turn it all the way up, to the max. All the way up, turn it all the way up, all the way up, turn it all the way up, all the way up, turn it all the way up. And telling the brother calm down, and fit a square with a round hole, cause every time that I come around, I turn it as loud as it go. Sipping the rock, pink collide, or give me the lime. Ready or not, give me a sign if you want me to stop. Giving it to you a cappella, the music will drop. One at a time, singing a rhyme on the drop of a dime. It's got time to shine, baby. I'ma break it down until it's liquid. Turn up, stir it up, call it biscuit. Hold up, I'm turned to the max. So loud, I got a deaf mute in the back. I'm not gonna do what it does. The first time that you heard the names of the track. All the way up, turn it all the way.
love those commercials. I mean, those
All the
commercials,
way up,
right?
down,
I feel like going to the
up,
Christian, right?
Woo! I don't know, man. That thing, I don't know, have you grooving behind the scenes. That's some nice stuff.
Yeah, that's
right
our
there.
producer
Shout
right
out
there.
to Shell T.
Shell
for
T.
sure. Man, if y'all want to do a commercial, remember,
Yes.
if you want to get your commercial on our show, just go ahead and hit us up and we'll get it done. We'll make it happen for you.
Yes, definitely.
Cool.
Now, I want to clear my name first, by the way, before we start this third segment, is that, yes, I like to buy, but what do I always tell you when I buy, Eric? What do I always say?
I'm going to return it.
No, I say I buy it on sale.
Oh,
I got it
yeah.
on sale, Eric. On sale.
All right, we'll talk about that right at the
Okay,
end.
all right.
We'll come back to that.
So,
All right.
yes, go ahead.
All right.
Ask your question.
What question do I have today?
It's right there. You have the same
I
thing.
got a bunch of questions. For a company that needs your service, what do they, how do they get in contact with you? What do they need to do? And then maybe tell us a little bit about what your ideal client is.
Okay, first thing would be ideal clients. I work with tech startups and digital agencies and businesses that just generally want to grow sales, but those are the two places I've been most effective. And typically the way it works is you can just go to my website, www.stevenstairs.com. There is a link that says work with me. There is a small questionnaire that you fill out to just give me a little bit more context for where you are, what you want to achieve. And then from there, you can book a call. We can hop on. It's 100% free. We talk and we'll see if we are a good fit for what each other has to offer. And from there, we can figure out a way to put a plan into action. Real simple. Or you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook and hit me up that way, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I just put your link in the chat. So you guys, all you have to do is just click on that link and take you right to his website. And then I'll put up his Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube channels.
There you go.
Yes. Oh, I also put a video out every single day. Today is day 163 days straight of a video every day on my Facebook. And those are going to be moving to YouTube too. So check it out. Stuff on sales, mindset, life, business, speaking, and everything in between.
You know what I want you to share a little bit about? And this hits home for everybody, right? Because I watched one of those videos where you took your phone and didn't use it for how long?
A month, 30 days.
30
Yeah.
days. And it made me think, like, how many times I reach over and I grab this thing and I really don't need to even use it for nothing, but then I go and I click on something and I'm just scrolling and I'm wasting valuable time. I understand, we want to have a little entertainment, but when you start calculating those hours, share a little bit about that and what that was like.
Yeah, man, that's almost a year now. So I think April will be a year. But just at the height of COVID, I was just bored in my house. And this was when everybody really had no idea what was going on still. I think we're a month in, lockdown was fresh and everyone's looking for projects and what to do. And people are upset naturally, right? I was there too. But I noticed that when I go on my phone or I go on social media, everybody's just this bad energy. I just didn't like it. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I was in a good space when I was on this. And I was just like, you know what? I can't carry this burden for everybody. I got to figure out what works for me and make sure that I'm the best version of myself through this thing. So I noticed I put my phone down in the kitchen and then I'd be in the living room and then I have to get up and check it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna put my phone in the drawer for today. And that day completed and I was like, all right, well, I don't need to look at it. Then I was like, let's do it for tomorrow. Let's see what happens. And then next thing you know, I was like, well, let's do it through the weekend. And then after I got to the weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm turning this thing off for a month. Let's just see what happens. And so I put my phone in a drawer and had it off for literally 30 days. And it's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And I put it for 3 reasons. Number one, once you break yourself from that addiction of having to check, you really just become so locked in for what you need to accomplish with the things around you. So I had multiple projects that I'd started and just sat down. I finished all of them. I read 10 books in that month. I cleaned my entire house, rearranged furniture. I I just built all these different things. Like I launched a course, like I did so much amazing work that's paying dividends now, right? That I'm really happy for. The second was I really realized the people who like really wanted to like engage with me and be part of my life, because they were like, yo, I called your phone, where you at? They sent an email. And they're like, oh, like, so you really want, I'm really important to you. All right, great. So I got rid of, not to say getting rid of, it's not a great word phrase, but there were people who was like, oh, like I'm carrying this whole relationship. Let me fall back a little bit. And that was also a great benefit. And then thirdly, it just showed me how much you can do when you're not distracted, man. Like they programmed us with these phones. And so like, I think you need to use your phone as a tool and not be used by it. And that's one of the cool examples of that. And I want to see how I can do that every year for a month to just reset completely. So thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
That is
You
good.
know, because you're right. We get comfortable with these phones, and you know, it's so easy to plop down on the couch and start playing some kind of game or just scrolling through social media. And next thing you know, an hour then passed. But what could I have done with that hour? And if you add that up 5 times a week, that's 20. You know, 5 hours, 20 hours a month, 360. You know, a year or whatever it is, and that's a lot of hours that you can be
Yep.
doing something more
You know what's so
better.
funny? It's so funny is that my mom, she would say, Eric is always on the phone. He's on the phone in the bathroom. He's on the phone, you know, when he's outside. He's on the phone when he's mowing the lawn. He's on the phone when he's sleeping. And he doesn't even know he's on the phone. He's on the phone all the time.
Yeah.
She would make so much fun of you. And, you know,
Yeah, I was.
You
I
were.
used to be on the phone all the time. You know, and so now, you know, I realized too when I watch the video, I realized like, yeah, there's areas where I can definitely improve with this phone time
yeah.
for sure.
Or screen time.
Yeah.
You know, the computers, and that's another thing. Other than the phone, it's that screen. You know, we get addicted to that screen,
Yeah.
whether it's games or social media or answering emails. And
Yeah.
I remember
It's always something more. It never stops.
Huh?
One thing that's been helpful for me with that is to put a time limit on each app.
Yeah.
So like 15 minutes, it'll time out and kick me out, and then I'll have to actively agree to go back in. That's been helpful in diminishing time. And then there's some you could even just lock it for the day after a certain amount of time, which is also good. So I recommend those things for people who want to break that system and cycle.
That's really good, Stephen, man. We got a couple minutes left. I want you. There's so many different things, man. 'Cause I'm on your website and I'm checking out, and I really like them. And the one thing that you have on the main first page when you come in is I teach you how to fish.
Yes, sir.
Really like that. And so, can you share as we wrap up? Just share a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. My whole life, I thank God I still have both my parents and everything else, but they gave me as much as they could give me. But one of the lessons I learned from them and my uncles and everyone else is like, no one's coming to save you. So the teachings that I might not have had, I want to teach people. You need to know how to fish for yourself. If you know how to sell, if you know how to figure out how to get people what they need and what they want, you're always going to be able to eat. And I think it shouldn't be something that is beyond anybody's reach. So when I say I teach you how to fish, my goal is to set my clients up to the point where they have a system that can run itself and they don't need me anymore. Again, sometimes people take longer than others and some want to continue to work, and I'm grateful for that too. But you should know how to fish. You should. It just keeps you alive, right? You're always going to have a meal if you know how to fish. And I'm passionate about that. And I think it scares a lot of people, but it can be fun. It can be interesting as long as you understand there's a framework and a way to do it.
Wow, that's good.
That's
good. So, man, hey, if you guys want to reach out to Stephen, his website is right there. I put it in the chat. Also, I'm going to drop your email in the chat. Is that a good way for people to contact you as well?
That's fine. Yes, indeed.
Any last words you want to share with the viewers?
Yeah, I got a quote for y'all actually. So speak what you see until you see what you say.
I gotta write
Say that
down.
one again.
Wait, I gotta write
I
that
gotta
down.
say it slower.
Speak what you seek until you see what you say.
Wow, that's good.
Speak what you seek
Yeah,
Until you see what you say.
until you see what you say. Wow, that's good.
Yes, sir.
That's
Say, I
good.
like that.
I just put it in the email. Man, thank you so much, Stephen, for being a part of our show, man. Some really good information. Great job, man. I know you about to probably go hang out on the beach and kick it. I'm trying to about that. But it's making me
For y'all. I'm not gonna do it for me. I'm gonna do it just for y'all. That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, man. I'm going to go look at my calendar after this, man. So I'll be in Mexico soon. So
Amen, man. Hey, again, thank y'all for first and foremost for being y'all. I really appreciate who you are and what you bring to this space. And I hope people can tell you more about that. And then secondly, thank you so much for having me and for having fun tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you to Donna too, because Donna was.
And Donna, shout out Donna.
Yeah.
Shout out to Donna.
Yeah, Donna Letzinger. That's right.
Yep.
All right, man.
Donna
Thank
P.
you. All right.
Appreciate y'all.
Talk to you soon.
Talk to you real
All
soon.
right. Take care. Bye.
Wow, we're back.
Yeah, Shelty, I don't know what we'd do without you, really, honestly. You keep us in check and in order, so thank you so much.
Yes.
And Eric said I have to say my stories at the end. But anyways, put in your numbers. Put in your numbers. I forgot to mention that. So please put in your numbers, and I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to put in your numbers, 1 through 50.
1 through 50 for the numbers up game. Closest to the number is the winner.
Without going over.
Without going over. And
Yes.
you win a $10 gift card to Amazon.
Yes.
All right, cool. Stephen was really great, man. Actually, some good information made me think about, that cell phone thing a lot, because I feel like I waste a lot of valuable time on it, that I could be doing something else a little more positive about doing it with. So cool.
Yes, definitely. You know what? We can't give the number until we pick a number. So you want to pick a
Oh,
number?
yeah, we need to pick a number. We have this wonderful Vanna White is going to be spinning the wheel.
Spin the wheel.
Oh, Vanna White is spinning the wheel.
Okay.
All right. This number is so small.
Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right. So do we say the number now?
If you want to.
All right. The number for the numbers up game is number.
Can you read it?
7. Let's see. 1833. It looks like everybody is over today.
No. Wait.
Wah.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
is
all the
eligible.
numbers are over. So the number was 7, and everybody who selected numbers are over 7. So that $10 gets rolled over to next week. Now, next week's winning prize is going to be $20 Amazon gift card. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, $20 next week.
All right.
Who do we have next week? Oh, we'll announce that later. But what's your encouraging word today?
Well, I gave my encouraging word a little bit earlier, but I think Linda wanted to share a story.
Okay. Yeah, the story was my kids were drawing pictures when they were little of their family. And there was 5 of us, right? Mother, dad, and the 3 of them. And there was 4 people at the dinner table. And you could see these little stick figures around this circle. And then there was another figure off to the side with a square. And I was like, who drew that picture? I think it was Chanel. I said, Chanel, tell me about this picture. And she says, this is me, and this is mommy, and EJ and Shaylin. And I was like, well, where's dad? He's over here in the corner where the square is on his computer. So that's the story I wanted to tell you of the screen time, and when your kids could notice it, and when your what is it, your mother-in-law notices it, then you really have to like think about it, right?
You do have to think about it, and I probably spent a little too much time on it, but we had a computer company, so I had to be on the screen. I was doing repairs and always working at the time, so that was part of some of the sacrifices that you do to get you where you need to be sometimes. So,
but you fixed it because then we always had dinner together.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That's a really important piece too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So some of the tips and some of the things that Stephen talked about, I know Linda wrote them down, which the 7 magnificent 7, which are really important key things. Can you share a little bit of those? Because I didn't write them down and I forgot.
Well, I did remember he was talking about how his uncle taught him how to work for his money. And I was like, I said child labor, but we did have that kind of in our household. We didn't have child labor, but we called it chores. So our kids had to vacuum and clean their room, but we didn't give them $20 at the end of their week. We gave them like $1.50 or something like that.
We didn't give them
really little, but we also taught them to put their money away and then to also tithe with their 10%. And so we did that, and they've always done little. Chanel had a business in, I want to say, in elementary school. She made Starburst earrings. Remember that?
Yeah.
So,
I remember.
Yeah, they were always into sales, and
we did the same thing.
We did the same thing.
Stephen's uncle did. I kind of grew up that way too, and so there's been a lot of times where our kids ask for money, right? They always want money. They got their hands out. Yeah, you do your chore. We give you a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, but they wanted more. And so I said, okay, I'm going to invest in you. So I said, what do you want to do? So they sold popsicles, just like Stephen did. They sold sunglasses.
Yes.
We bought them, 500 pairs of sunglasses, and they had to pay us back first before they can spend any money. But it was a learning lesson to teach them how to go out and get their hustle on and how to make it for themselves. And I think those are some of the things that, I value as, growing up, because my parents, they taught us how to hustle, and we did some of the same things, and we shared that with our kids as well. Like, hey, if you want it, go out there and get it. Teaching them to earn helps to build character. Exactly right, Mrs. Turner.
Yes, definitely. And then, so they've grown up always like figuring out how to make money. And, I'm really proud of them. But
absolutely.
Yes.
Cool. So what we got coming up next week?
What do we have next week?
Investment week.
Oh,
And
yes.
we have.
Say your
Let
name.
me say her name. Say her name. Abire. That's a tough one for me, but Abire is coming on next week. She's business.
Shinoki.
Yeah, Shinoki.
Yeah.
She does business development. She does loans and funds for small businesses. So if there's any small businesses out there looking for loans or trying to figure out how to get some money, come in, check us out, get some knowledge on investments next week. So yeah, this is really good stuff. And then remember too, if you guys out there are looking to market your business, we have some programs available that we can help you with to bring your commercial to our show. Our commercials are done by Shell T, and she does all the video, the editing, the music, and all that, which will give you a great opportunity to share on our show, but also be able to use it on your own social media platforms.
Yes, definitely. Oh, you did ask me a question. You asked me to go over the 7 Magnificent 7. I didn't even answer that. Sorry. Make money, number 1. Save money, mitigate risk,
Yes.
increase efficiency, and then the other 3 is health, wealth, and relationship. So if you remember all that in your sales, build rapport. Start off with, hey, you know what? I like those glasses.
Thank
They're
you.
really cool.
Cool.
What brand are they?
Versace.
Oh, nice.
No one there. Whatever the insurance covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good. I mean, another just last thing that I have is, which I think is really important, is health and wealth and relationship, is really keeping a balance. It's really important. We work very hard, but you also have to keep a balance. Make sure that you spend time for yourself. If it's on a weekend, take a day off, relax, do something that you enjoy, or that you're passionate about, whatever it may be. But you have to keep a balance. Make sure that all that hard work that you're putting in to become who you're trying to become, or what business you're trying to drive, is that you keep that balance and enjoy yourself, enjoy some family time, enjoy some time away, whatever it is. And that makes me think, I'm coming out there to Mexico. I'm going to look and book me some flights because I need some relaxation time too. You want to come?
Yeah, I do.
Who you with?
Donnie. Hey, what's up, Donnie? Yeah, that's good. You want buy my ticket?
Sure.
All right.
With your credit card.
Okay.
That's all good.
The other thing you said too, and you say this all the time, is don't quit. So that's, keep on going, don't quit, don't give up, and have fun and have a balance, but don't quit.
Yeah. And get those distractions out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really hard. I could see you putting limits on my computer. I should do that to you. Put limits
Sure.
on your computer.
I'm okay with it.
And then it kicks you off.
Yeah.
Would you be okay with that?
I would. Then we can spend more time together watching TV.
That's screen time.
Oh, all right. Riding our bikes. We'll do something. But yeah, we just want to thank you guys for being part of our show. Stay tuned next week. It'll be exciting. Entrepreneurs. Beret will talk about finances. She'll talk about small business development and funding for your business. So stay tuned. See you guys next week.
See you next week.